achievers start thinking about what's next in their career because something isn't working where they are right now. Maybe you're feeling enough stress and anxiety day to day that you can feel yourself starting to burn out. Maybe you're not sure that you want to be on this path anymore, and the existential question of what to do with your life is weighing on your soul. Or maybe you just feel stuck where you are and you want to feel like you're moving forward and making progress, not stagnating in place. Basically, something feels bad about where you are right now. And when something feels bad, your brain, newsflash, is going to prioritize feeling better, which means that as your brain considers possible next steps that you could take, it's probably evaluating each option by asking, would doing this make me feel better than what I'm doing right now? And this is not a bad way to evaluate your possible next steps, but I want to throw an unhinged question into the mix. My unhinged question is this: if your goal was not to feel better, then what would your goal be? If I told you that you would be feeling roughly the same way that you feel right now, no matter what you do next, what would you do next? What would you prioritize? What would you be solving for if you weren't solving for feeling better? Now, I'm not saying that feeling better doesn't matter. It absolutely does matter. I want you to feel as good as you possibly can. I'm just saying that feeling better is a tricky North Star to guide your decision making. Here's why. It's for two seemingly diametrically opposed reasons. Reason number one, that feeling better is a tricky North Star to guide your decision making, is that how you feel varies day to day, even hour to hour. If you try to decide what to do next based on how you're feeling right now, that's like trying to follow a compass that spins around every 15 minutes. You might come out of a great meeting and you'll be like, I crushed it. I can absolutely climb the ladder here. Then you run into a tricky roadblock on a project you're working on and you're like, screw this, I need to find a different job. Then you try to update your resume so you can apply for jobs and you're like, have I ever done anything impressive? Never mind, I should just stay here. Then you have to do some tedious admin caused by corporate bureaucracy and you're like, what is the point of anything? Capitalism is a scam. And then you hear from someone who was genuinely helped by some of the work you did. And you're like, wow, I am making a difference. My work actually matters. You can easily experience all five of those things in a single workday. And if your brain is using feeling better as its North Star, as it tries to figure out what your next step should be, you are going to feel very confused by the end of that day. Reason number two, that feeling better is a tricky North Star to guide your decision making, is that how you feel on average tends to stay stable no matter what your circumstances are. So ironically, despite how much your emotions move around in a single day or a single week, your average emotional experience is actually quite stable over time, even if your circumstances change dramatically. If you tend to be anxious and high strung with short bursts of feeling secure and happy, you are going to be anxious and high strung with short bursts of feeling secure and happy, no matter what job you're in. If, on the other hand, you tend to be relaxed and happy go lucky with short bursts of intensity, you are going to be relaxed and happy go lucky with short bursts of intensity, no matter what job you're in. This is a psychological phenomenon known as the hedonic treadmill, and studies have shown that even after life events as dramatic as winning the lottery or becoming paralyzed, people tend to return to their baseline level of happiness sometime after the event. And I am sure you have experienced this yourself. How many times have you achieved a major accomplishment, crossed a major milestone, made a big change, only to find yourself about the same as you always feel a few days, a few weeks, or a few months later? By the way, the real way to change how you feel on average is to make internal changes to your habitual thought patterns and your automatic reactions, not to make external changes and then hope that those external changes just magically make those internal changes happen on their own. That's about as effective as saying, I hope winning the lottery makes me left-handed. Anyway, all of this to say, I definitely want you to feel better, but feeling better is a slippery foundation on which to build your next career step, which is why I want you to ask yourself, if my goal wasn't to feel better, what would my goal be? Because that question is going to reveal the stable strategic pillars that you want to build your next step around. Maybe it's things like a certain kind of work that you want to be doing, a certain kind of impact you want to make, or a certain problem you want to solve, certain industry you want to be in, a certain way of working and teaming up with others that you like, a certain level of flexibility or time outside of work that you want. These are the goals, values, and preferences that matter to you no matter how you're feeling. They stay stable over time, regardless of whether you had a good day or a bad day, and regardless of what your average emotional patterns tend to be. These stable goals, values, and preferences are a solid foundation on which to build your next career step. Now, I know that no matter how you're feeling day to day, you want to be thoughtful and strategic about your next career step. Whether that's recommitting to where you are and making it work for you, or whether that's pulling the trigger on leaving, getting crystal clear on what you want to do next, and making that next step a reality. The last thing you want to do is make a rushed, random, or emotional decision. And you deserve an expert thought partner to help you decide on the best possible next step and make it happen. Someone who can bring structure to the chaos, someone who can cut through the noise, and someone who can leave you feeling clear, settled, and confidently on track. So come talk to me and let's get you unstuck and moving forward today. The link to book a free consult call with me is above. Or if you're listening on the podcast, it's in the episode description. Or if you're listening on Instagram, it's at the link in bio. Schedule your call today, and I can't wait to talk to you.